I put my brother in the hospital after he slept with my wife and bragged, "You know I always get what I want." My family took his side and tried to get me thrown in jail, so I made them regret it. I'm not the type to overreact. Never have been. Growing up, I was the one who fixed things while my younger brother Troy broke them. He'd charm his way out of trouble, I'd clean up the mess. That dynamic carried into adulthood. He became the golden child who could do no wrong, and I became the reliable one nobody worried about. Turns out, that's exactly how you end up blindsided. I'm 35, been married to Vivian for 8 years. No kids, we talked about it but never pulled the trigger. I manage commercial properties across 3 counties, she teaches art at the local high school. Decent life. Stable. Or so I thought. The signs started small. Late nights at school events that didn't match the district calendar. Her phone screen always face down. The way she'd flinch when I walked into a room. I'm not paranoid by nature, but I'm not stupid either. 2 weeks ago, I found a hotel receipt in her car. Nothing fancy, just a Holiday Inn off Route 9. Date stamped for a Friday night. She'd told me she was at a teacher's conference. I checked our shared calendar. That same weekend, Troy had marked himself out of town for work. Troy sells luxury cars at a dealership an hour south. Makes good money, drives a different demo every month, and has always had this easy confidence that made people gravitate toward him. Our parents loved that about him. Still do. I didn't confront Vivian. Not yet. Instead, I started documenting. Screenshots of texts. Copies of receipts. I checked our credit card statements. There it was. Another hotel charge from 3 months prior. Same weekend Troy was conveniently unavailable for our cousin's birthday party. I stayed quiet and watched. Last Friday, my parents hosted dinner. Standard monthly thing, dad grills, mom fusses, Troy shows up late and charming. Vivian had been distant in the car ride over, scrolling her phone, barely speaking. I parked and she jumped out fast, like she couldn't wait to get away from me. Inside, I watched them. Really watched. The way Troy's hand lingered on her shoulder when he said hello. The inside joke they shared about some song on the radio. The way Vivian laughed, actually laughed, in a way she hadn't with me in months. After dinner, Troy offered to help Vivian with dishes. Real gentleman, my brother. Mom beamed. I stayed in the living room with Dad, half listening to him complain about property taxes, but my attention was on the kitchen doorway. I got up. Walked toward the bathroom. Stopped in the hallway. That's when I heard Troy's voice, low and close. "Tonight? Same place?" Vivian's response was barely a whisper. "He won't notice. He never does." I stood there, hand on the bathroom door handle, face neutral. Felt nothing. No rage. No heartbreak. Just this cold, crystalline clarity. I returned to the living room. Finished my beer. Made small talk. Hugged my parents goodbye. Vivian was quiet on the drive home, but I didn't press. Just drove. Parked in our driveway. Told her I had a headache and was going to bed early. She seemed relieved. I waited until I heard the shower running. Then I grabbed my keys, my phone, and left through the garage. I knew which hotel. I'd seen the receipt. I parked 3 rows back from the entrance, engine off, windows cracked. Waited. 20 minutes later, Troy's silver Audi pulled in. 5 minutes after that, Vivian's Honda. Different entrances. Same destination. I didn't storm in. Didn't need to. I took photos of both cars, time-stamped. Checked in with the front desk, asked if they had a reservation under my name, played the confused husband. The desk clerk accidentally pulled up Troy's reservation. Room 237. I thanked her. Walked out. Sat in my car. My phone buzzed. At first, I thought it was someone calling. Then I realized, it was a text notification. But not on my phone. It was coming from the passenger seat. Vivian had left her phone in the car. I picked it up. Screen lit up with a new message. "Troy, don't worry about the divorce. We'll clean him out together. He won't see it coming." I stared at that text for a long time. Then I took a screenshot, sent it to my email, deleted the notification from her lock screen, put the phone back exactly where she'd left it, started my car, and smiled, because now I knew exactly what they were planning, and they had no idea what was coming for them. Saturday afternoon, Troy texted asking if he could swing by to watch the game. Like nothing was wrong. Like he hadn't just planned to financially gut me with my own wife. I told him sure. Grabbed some beers from the fridge, and set up my laptop in the home office with the security camera app open. Our house has cameras in the living room and kitchen, installed them 2 years ago after a break-in scare on our street. Completely legal. Video and audio. Cloud backup. I made sure everything was recording. Troy showed up at 2 p.m., swagger intact. Designer jeans, polo shirt, that easy grin that made our parents forgive him for everything. He clapped me on the shoulder, helped himself to a beer, dropped onto my couch like he owned it. "Vivian around?" he asked, all casual. "She's at some craft store. Said she'd be a while." I sat across from him, cracked open my own beer. "Actually, glad you're here. Wanted to ask you something." He raised an eyebrow. "Shoot, Vivian mentioned you've been helping her look into some things. Legal stuff." His face didn't change, but his hand tightened around the bottle. "Legal stuff? Divorce lawyers," I said flatly. Troy paused. Then he laughed. Actually laughed. "Man, you two having problems? That sucks. She's gonna need a good one, right? Divorce isn't cheap." He leaned back, getting comfortable now. Thought he was in control. "For who? Well, for me, obviously." I kept my voice level. 8 years of marriage. She'd be entitled to half of everything. The house, retirement accounts, savings. That's how it works. Troy's smile widened. "Yeah, man. That's exactly how it works. But hey, you'll bounce back. You always do. You're the responsible one, remember? That's so? That's the law." He took a long drink. "She's been the supportive wife, gave up career opportunities for you, all that. Judge'll see it. She'll walk away with half, probably solid alimony too. 4, 5 grand a month? Maybe more." I watched him. He was enjoying this. "But you already knew that," I said quietly. "Didn't you?" Something shifted in his expression. "What are you talking about?" I pulled out my phone. Opened the screenshot. Turned it toward him. "Troy, don't worry about the divorce. We'll clean him out together. He won't see it coming." The color drained from his face. Then, just as quickly, it came back. He set down his beer. Leaned forward. And smiled. "So you finally figured it out." No denial. No panic. Just arrogance. "How long?" I asked. "Year and a half." He shrugged. "Honestly? She came to me. Said you were boring. Predictable. Said she needed something more exciting." My hands clenched. I forced them to relax. "And you just went along with it?" Troy laughed again. "Went along with it? Man, I didn't have to do much convincing. She wanted this. We both did." He stood up, paced a little, hands in his pockets. "Look, I didn't plan it. But when it happened, yeah, I went for it. She's my wife. She was your wife." He turned to face me, and there it was, that look. The one he'd had his whole life when he got away with something. "Face it. You were never enough for her." "I am." I stood up slowly. "Get out of my house, or what?" He stepped closer. "You gonna hit me? That'll look great in court. Violent husband attacks brother. She'll get everything and a restraining order." I said, "Get out." Troy's smile turned vicious. "You know what your problem is? You think being the good guy matters. It doesn't. People like me? We take what we want. And we get away with it." He poked my chest. "You know I always get what I want. Even your wife." Something snapped. Not in me, in him. Troy shoved me hard. "What are you gonna do about it?" I caught myself against the wall. He was in my face now, chest puffed, hands ready. He swung first. I ducked. Came back with an elbow to his ribs. He doubled over, gasping. Swung wild. Caught me in the jaw. I tasted blood. We crashed into the coffee table. Wood splintered. Troy hit the corner hard. His head snapped back, blood immediately streaming from his nose. He went down, clutching his face. You broke my nose." I stood over him, breathing hard. Blood on my knuckles. Blood on the floor. Then I stepped back. Pulled out my phone. Dialed 911. "I need an ambulance and police," I said calmly. "My brother attacked me in my home. He's injured." I defended myself. Troy stared at me from the floor, eyes wide. "You're calling the cops?" "Yeah," I said. "I am." The operator asked for details. I gave my address. Told her everything, the shove, the swing, the self-defense. Told her it was on camera. Troy tried to sit up, blood pouring from his nose. "You're insane. Stay down," I told him. "Paramedics are coming." He slumped back, holding his face, muttering something I couldn't hear. I hung up. Checked the camera app. Everything recorded. Troy shoving me. Troy swinging. All of it. 6 minutes later, sirens. Paramedics took Troy out on a stretcher. Broken nose, possible concussion, gash on his forehead that needed stitches. Police took statements. I showed them the footage. Showed them the text. Explained calmly. My brother admitted to an affair with my wife, taunted me, physically attacked me in my own home. They nodded. Took notes. Told me they'd be in touch. I watched them leave. Then my phone exploded. Mom. Dad. Troy's wife Angela. Texts. Calls. Voicemails piling up. Mom, what did you do? Troy's in the hospital. Dad, call me right now. Angela, you put him in the hospital? What is wrong with you? I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my email. Forwarded the hotel photos, the security footage, the clean him out text, and the audio recording of Troy's confession to my lawyer. Subject line, need representation. Expect criminal charges and divorce filing Monday. Hit send, set my phone face down on the counter, and waited, because they wanted to destroy me. They wanted me in jail, broke, humiliated, so I was going to let them try. And when they failed, they'd realize something they should have known from the start. I don't lose control, I just stop playing by their rules. Monday morning, I got the call. Detective Morrison. Pleasant voice, professional tone. Asked if I could come down to the station to answer some follow-up questions about Saturday's incident. Am I being charged with anything? Not at this time. Just want to clarify a few details. I called my lawyer first. Gregory Huang. Former prosecutor, now defense attorney. Sharp as hell and expensive. He'd already reviewed everything I sent over the weekend. Don't say a word without me there, he said. I'll meet you at the station in an hour. I showed up at 10 a.m. Gregory was already waiting, briefcase in hand, suit immaculate. Morrison led us to an interview room. Laid out photos of Troy's injuries, broken nose, stitches above his eyebrow, bruising on his ribs. Your brother's pressing charges, Morrison said. Physical attack and battery. His statement says you attacked him without provocation. Gregory slid a USB drive across the table. That's security footage from my client's home. Audio and video. You'll see Mr. Troy initiated physical contact. My client defended himself. Morrison plugged it in. Watched. His expression never changed, but I saw the moment he realized this wasn't what Troy had claimed. Your brother says you were angry about financial matters. That you threatened him. My brother admitted to an ongoing affair with my wife, I said calmly. He taunted me about it. Then he shoved me. It's all on the recording. Gregory added, there's also text evidence showing premeditation on Mr. Troy's part to defraud my client in a pending divorce. We're happy to provide all materials to the DA. Morrison took notes. I'll need to review this with the prosecutor. We left. Gregory walked me to my car. They're going to try to spin this, he said. Your family's already started. Your mother called the station this morning claiming you've been unstable, jealous of your brother for years. Of course she did. Let them build their case. We've got facts. They've got feelings. He clapped my shoulder. Sit tight. Don't engage with them. Not a word. I didn't have to wait long. That afternoon, my phone buzzed. Family group chat. I'd been removed, but my cousin forwarded screenshots. Mom, he's always been jealous of Troy. This was bound to happen. Dad, we need to protect Troy. Get him the best lawyer. Press charges. Angela, Troy's wife, he's dangerous. Troy's terrified to be around him. My aunt chimed in asking what happened. Dad's version. Unprovoked attack. Troy just went to watch a game and his own brother snapped. No mention of the affair. No mention of Vivian. Just poor, innocent Troy. I screenshotted everything. Sent it to Gregory. His response, perfect. Let them commit to that story. Wednesday, I got served. Civil suit from Troy, $50,000 in damages, medical expenses, emotional distress. I handed it to Gregory. Expected, he said. We'll countersue. Alienation of affection laws still apply in this state. His affair with your wife is actionable. Thursday, the DA called Gregory. I sat in his office while he put it on speaker. We've reviewed the evidence, the prosecutor said. Video clearly shows the brother initiated contact. Self-defense claim holds up. We're declining to file charges. I felt nothing. Just nodded. Gregory hung up. That's round one. Now we go on offense. Friday morning, I walked into the county clerk's office and filed for divorce. Grounds, adultery, evidence, attached. I paid extra for immediate service. By noon, a process server walked into Vivian's classroom during fifth period and handed her the papers in front of 23 sophomore students. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Absolutely. My phone rang within an hour. My father. I let it go to voicemail. Dad, you're tearing this family apart. Your mother's beside herself. Troy's hurt, scared, and you're making this worse. Call me back. We need to fix this. I deleted it. Then I called Gregory. File the civil suit against Troy. Alienation of affection. And let's move on the divorce. Already drafting it. But you need to know, your wife's going to fight. She'll claim marital assets, alimony. She's probably already talking to attorneys. Let her try. Gregory paused. You sound confident. I am. Why? Because 8 years ago, when Vivian and I got engaged, my parents insisted I protect myself. Said I'd worked too hard to risk losing everything. They pushed me to get a prenup. I could hear Gregory smiling through the phone. Did you? I did. Vivian signed it. Barely read it. Thought it was standard paperwork. And there's an infidelity clause. She cheats. She gets the minimum the court allows. Nothing more. Silence. Then Gregory laughed. Actually laughed. You've been sitting on this the whole time? Didn't need it until now. What about assets? Joint accounts? Most of what I have is premarital or inherited. The house was mine before the marriage, she's not on the deed. Retirement accounts are separate. She contributed almost nothing financially over 8 years. Teacher's salary versus my income? It's not even close. So when she tries to take you for half, she'll get a hard reality check. Gregory was quiet for a moment. Your family thinks they're protecting Troy. They think they can pressure you into backing down. I know. They have no idea what's coming. No, I said. They don't, because while they were busy painting me as the villain, I'd been documenting everything. Every asset. Every dollar. Every clause in that prenup they'd insisted on. They wanted to bleed me dry. They were about to learn what bankruptcy actually looked like. And it wasn't going to be mine. The prenup was 12 pages long. Vivian had signed it on a Tuesday afternoon in my parents' attorney's office, 8 years ago. She'd been annoyed about the appointment, wanted to finalize wedding venue deposits instead, but my parents insisted. It's just a formality, my mother had said. Protects both of you. Vivian skimmed it. Signed 3 places. We got lunch after. She never asked what was in it. The divorce moved fast. Vivian hired Patricia Moss, a bulldog attorney known for bleeding ex-husbands dry in high asset cases. Gregory seemed amused when he heard. She's good, he said. But she's walking into a brick wall. First mediation session was in February. Vivian showed up in a black dress, hair done, makeup perfect. Playing the wronged wife. Patricia had clearly coached her, sad eyes, quiet voice, the whole performance. Patricia opened aggressive. My client is entitled to 50% of all marital assets. The home, valued at $480,000. Retirement accounts totaling approximately $340,000. Investment properties. Gregory slid the prenup across the table. Patricia stopped mid-sentence. Picked it up. Started reading. Her face changed. Vivian leaned over, confused. What is that? A prenuptial agreement, Patricia said slowly. Signed by you. February 2017. I don't remember. Page 7, Clause 4b, Gregory said mildly. In the event of adultery committed by either party, said party forfeits all claims to spousal support beyond minimum state requirements. Additionally, all premarital assets remain separate property. Vivian's face went white. That can't be legal. It's completely legal, Patricia said quietly. She flipped through pages, jaw tight. You signed it. It's notarized. Witnessed by 2 attorneys, but I didn't know. Ignorance isn't a defense, Gregory said. You had independent counsel present. You were advised to read it thoroughly. The record shows you declined. I watched Vivian process it. The house she thought was half hers? Mine before we married. The retirement accounts? Mostly premarital contributions and inheritance rollovers. The investment properties? Inherited from my grandfather, held in trust. What about alimony? Vivian's voice cracked. 8 years, I supported him. Patricia checked her notes. Your income averaged $43,000 annually. His averaged $135,000. The disparity works against you, not for you. But I gave up. I could have. You didn't give up your career, Gregory said flatly. You taught art. Same job, same school, the entire marriage. No evidence of career sacrifice. The mediation lasted 2 hours. Patricia fought hard, I'll give her that. But the numbers didn't lie. The prenup didn't bend. Final settlement offer, Vivian keeps her car, personal belongings, and $600 monthly alimony for 18 months. She broke down in the hallway. Full sobs, mascara running. Patricia looked exhausted. Take it, I heard her tell Vivian. If you fight this, you'll spend more on legal fees than you'll ever win. Vivian signed 3 days later. The same week, I heard through my cousin that Troy's wife Angela filed for divorce. Messy, public, expensive. She wanted full custody of their 2 kids, the house, and maximum child support. Troy couldn't afford a good attorney. My parents were paying for his civil suit lawyer. They didn't have budget for divorce counsel too. Then the call started. Not to me, to my office. My secretary mentioned my father tried reaching me 4 times. My mother called twice. Blocked numbers. I didn't respond. Gregory updated me over coffee. Your brother's civil suit is going nowhere. We filed a motion to dismiss based on the security footage. His attorney knows it. They're posturing. And the countersuit, alienation of affection? We'll settle. He has no assets worth pursuing, but it'll cost him. Legal fees alone will bury him. I sipped my coffee. Good, your ex-wife moved in with him, by the way. My paralegal saw them apartment hunting together. I nodded. Expected, that'll last 6 months, Gregory said. Maximum. When reality hits and neither of them can pay rent, they'll turn on each other. He was right. By March, the fallout accelerated. Troy's job performance tanked. He'd been a top performer at the luxury dealership, 6 figures, bonuses, demo cars. But word spreads in small industries. Affair with a married woman. Bitter divorce. His sales dropped 70% in 2 months. Then came the DUI. He'd gone out drinking after a fight with Vivian, drove home, got pulled over 3 blocks from their apartment. Blew a .12. Lost his license for 6 months. The dealership fired him the next day. Conduct unbecoming of our brand. I heard about it from my cousin, who heard it from Angela, who was savagely satisfied. But that wasn't the worst part. 2 weeks later, my secretary buzzed me. Someone from the school district called. Asked if you'd be willing to provide a reference for Vivian. I frowned. A reference? For what? She's on administrative leave. They're investigating her. I called the district HR office. Identified myself as her ex-husband, asked what was happening. The HR rep was careful, professional. We received multiple complaints from parents regarding Ms. Vivian's conduct. An investigation is underway. We can't discuss specifics. I thanked her and hung up. Then I called my cousin. What's going on with Vivian's job? She hesitated. You didn't hear this from me. But one of the school board members? His wife is in the same social circle as Angela. She sent Angela's divorce filing to a few people. The one that mentions the affair, and those few people included parents with kids in Vivian's classes. They complained. Said she violated moral conduct standards. District's investigating under the ethics clause in her contract. Will she be fired? Probably. Teacher contracts have morality clauses. Affair with a married man while married herself? That's textbook violation. I hung up, sat at my desk, and realized, they weren't just losing. They were collapsing. The golden boy was selling used cars at some no-name lot on the edge of town. The art teacher was about to lose her license. And my parents? My cousin's next text told me everything I needed to know. Cousin, your dad called mine asking to borrow money. Said they're drowning. Legal fees for Troy, helping him with child support, trying to keep Vivian's rent paid. They're talking about selling the house. I stared at that message. They'd spent their retirement defending him. And now they couldn't keep their own lights on. 3 weeks later, I got confirmation. My cousin sent me a photo. An eviction notice. Posted on Troy and Vivian's apartment door. Unpaid rent. Utilities in arrears. The lights had gone out. Literally, 6 months passed. I didn't track their downfall deliberately. Didn't have to. Information found me through my cousin, through mutual acquaintances, through the small-town gossip machine that feeds on scandal. I moved into a new place. 2-bedroom condo downtown, 10th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows. Clean slate. Started therapy, not because I was broken, but because I wanted to make sure I stayed whole. Dr. Patel was good. Didn't push, didn't judge, just listened. Work was good too. Got promoted to regional manager. More responsibility, more pay, more travel. Kept me busy. Started seeing someone casually. Jennifer, works in finance, no drama, no expectations. It wasn't serious, but it was easy. Normal. My parents tried calling twice in those 6 months. I didn't answer. They sent a Christmas card. I threw it away unopened. I wasn't angry anymore. That's what surprised me most. I just didn't care, but I heard things. Troy was working at a used car lot on Route 14. The kind with inflatable dancing tube men and no credit, no problem banners. Commission only. He'd gone from selling $80,000 luxury sedans to $8,000 salvage title Hondas. His divorce from Angela finalized in April. She got the house, primary custody of both kids, and $1,800 monthly child support. Troy couldn't afford it. He was already 3 months behind by May. Angela filed for contempt of court. The golden boy was looking at jail time for unpaid support. Vivian's situation was worse. The school district fired her in March. Moral turpitude violation. Turns out one of the school board members was close friends with Angela. The divorce filing, complete with details of the affair and the clean him out text, got passed around parent groups like wildfire. Parents complained. The district investigated. Her contract had a clause about conduct reflecting poorly on the institution. She was done. Her teaching license went under state review. Even if she wanted to teach somewhere else, the termination on her record flagged every background check. Nobody would hire her. She was applying for retail jobs. Getting rejected. The $600 monthly alimony I paid wasn't enough to cover rent, let alone utilities and food. Troy was contributing nothing. He barely made enough to survive himself. By June, they were drowning. My cousin texted me a photo, another eviction notice. Third apartment in 4 months. Behind on rent, utilities shut off for non-payment. Cousin, they're sitting in the dark. Literally. Troy's car got repossessed last week. Vivian's asking people for grocery money. I stared at that text for a long time. Then I put my phone down and went to the gym. The social fallout was just as brutal. Extended family knew the truth. My aunts, uncles, cousins, they'd all seen the evidence, heard the stories. Troy wasn't invited to gatherings anymore. When his name came up, conversations died. My parents were isolated. Embarrassed. Ashamed of what their golden child had become. Because they'd gambled everything on him. My cousin told me they'd drained their retirement accounts. Dad's 401k, gone. Cashed out early, paid the penalties, threw it all at Troy's legal fees and child support debts. They'd paid his rent twice. Covered his car payments before the repo. Bought groceries for him and Vivian. It still wasn't enough. In July, they sold their house. The 4-bedroom colonial they'd lived in for 30 years. Sold it fast, under market value, because they needed the cash immediately. They moved into a small apartment across town. 2 bedrooms, thin walls, no yard. My mother's health declined. High blood pressure, stress-induced. She was on 3 medications now. My cousin said she looked 10 years older. My father stopped returning calls from friends. Stopped going to church. Just worked, came home, stared at the TV. They'd built their entire life around protecting Troy. Around believing he was special. And he'd burned through everything they had. Troy tried getting unemployment. Denied, fired for cause. The DUI conviction made him uninsurable for driving jobs. His resume was toxic. Nobody wanted him. By August, I heard he was working overnight shifts at a gas station. Minimum wage, no benefits. Vivian picked up scattered hours at a coffee shop. Barely covered her phone bill. They were still together. Barely. My cousin said they fought constantly. Screaming matches in the parking lot. Blame. Resentment. They destroyed everything for each other, and now they were stuck in the wreckage. Vivian's parents disowned her. Refused to help. Said she'd made her choices and had to live with them. Troy had nobody left except our parents, who had nothing left to give. I tried not to think about it. Tried to just live my life. But the updates kept coming. Small town gossip is relentless. September came. I took a weekend trip upstate with Jennifer. Rented a cabin, hiked, unplugged. It was good. Peaceful. When I got back Sunday evening, I pulled into my parking spot and checked my phone. 17 missed calls. My cousin. Twice. A number I didn't recognize. 3 times. My father's cell. 12 times. I scrolled through. No voicemails. Just calls. Then a text from my cousin. Cousin, they're coming to you. I tried to stop them. I'm sorry. I stared at that message. Checked my security camera app. Rewound to earlier that afternoon. There, my parents' car, parked outside my building. Waiting. I zoomed in. Saw 3 people in the car. Mom. Dad. Troy. My phone buzzed. Another call from my father. I declined it. Grabbed my bag. Went upstairs. Made dinner. Watched TV. Showered. Tried to pretend I didn't know what was coming. Friday evening. Just after 7 p.m. The doorbell rang. I checked the camera feed. There they were. Mom looked destroyed. Face gaunt, hair graying, shoulders slumped like she was carrying the weight of the world. Dad beside her, jaw tight, eyes sunken. He'd lost weight. Looked older. Tired. And Troy, my brother, stood behind them, hands in his pockets, head down. His clothes were wrinkled. Hair unwashed. He looked hollow. Empty. They weren't just asking for help. They were begging for survival. I stood there, staring at the screen. This was the moment they'd planned for. The moment they expected me to fold. To be the reliable one. The responsible one. The one who fixes things while Troy breaks them. I took a breath, walked to the door, and opened it. They stood in the hallway outside my door. Mom's eyes were already red. Dad's hands trembled slightly at his sides. Troy wouldn't look at me. I didn't invite them in. Please, Mom said. Her voice cracked. He's your brother. We're family. Family forgives. I leaned against the doorframe. Kept my voice level. Family protects each other. You protected him. Not me. We didn't know. You knew exactly what he did. You just didn't care. Dad stepped forward. We're broke. Do you understand? Sold the house. Your mother's on medications we can barely afford. We have nothing left. You had a retirement. A home. Savings. We spent it defending him. Helping him. Dad's voice rose. What were we supposed to do? Let him go to jail? He didn't go to jail, I said quietly. Because I defended myself legally. You could have accepted that. Instead, you called me unstable. Pushed for charges. Tried to destroy me. Silence. Troy finally spoke. His voice was hollow. Empty. I lost everything. My job. My kids. My wife. Vivian and I were living in the dark. Literally. No power. No water. He looked up at me. I have nothing. You didn't lose anything, I said. You gambled it away. There's a difference. I made a mistake. No. You made a choice. Every step of the way, you chose. You chose to sleep with my wife. You chose to plan to rob me. You chose to taunt me in my own home. Those weren't mistakes. They were decisions. A car door slammed in the parking lot below. Footsteps on the stairs. Vivian appeared at the top. She looked worse than any of them. Hair unwashed, clothes hanging loose, face gaunt. She'd lost weight. Dark circles under her eyes. She stopped when she saw me. I didn't want to come. They made me. You don't have to be here, I said. Yes, I do. Her voice was barely a whisper. Because I need to tell you I was stupid. I was selfish. I listened to him. She gestured at Troy and I ruined everything. Don't put this on me, Troy snapped at her. You said we'd be fine. Vivian's voice cracked. You said the divorce would set us up. That we'd take everything and start fresh. You said. I said what you wanted to hear. They were fracturing. Right there in my hallway. Turning on each other. I watched. Feeling nothing. Please, Mom said again. She was crying now. Full tears. You were always the good one. The responsible one. Please. Be that person now. I am, I said. I'm being responsible for myself. That's the lesson you never taught me. That I mattered too. I reached into my pocket. Pulled out a business card. Dr. Patel's office. I handed it to my father. 6 sessions, I said. For Mom. I'll call and cover them. After that, you're on your own. Dad stared at the card. That's it? That's all you'll do? That's more than you did for me. We're your family. You were my family. You stopped being that when you chose him over me. Troy's hands clenched. So what? You're just going to let us starve. You're not starving. You're suffering consequences. There's a difference. I'm working at a gas station. Troy's voice rose. Overnight shifts for minimum wage. Vivian's at a coffee shop. We can't even keep the lights on. You know what you said to me? I interrupted. Voice calm. Cold. You said you always get what you want. Troy went silent. Turns out, you wanted to destroy me. You wanted my life. My wife. My money. My dignity. I stepped back. Instead, you destroyed yourself. And I didn't have to do anything except stop helping. I started to close the door. Wait, Mom reached out. Goodbye, I said, and shut the door, locked it. I stood there for a moment, listening. Mom's muffled sobs. Dad's voice, low and urgent. Troy saying something I couldn't make out. Vivian's sharp response, then footsteps. Moving away, I walked to the window. Watched them leave the building. Troy's shoulders were shaking. Mom leaning on Dad. Vivian walking separately, arms wrapped around herself. They got into the car. Sat there for a few minutes. Then drove away. I grabbed my keys. My jacket, walked out. Locked my door behind me. Took the elevator down to the garage, got into my car, started the engine, backed out of my spot. Drove toward the exit. I passed them in the parking lot. Their car was still there, pulled off to the side. All 4 of them visible through the windows. Crying. Fighting. Broken. I didn't slow down, didn't look back, just drove, windows down. Music low. The highway stretched out ahead, city lights fading behind me. They thought winning meant destroying me. In reality, they just destroyed themselves. I didn't have to do anything except stop holding them up, and that was the consequence they never planned for. 3 months later, Troy filed for bankruptcy. Vivian moved back with her parents in another state. They'd reluctantly taken her in after she'd exhausted every other option. Last I heard, she was working retail, still barred from teaching. My parents downsized again. Smaller place, cheaper state, far from anyone they knew. We exchanged Christmas cards that first year. Nothing since. I got promoted again. Bought a cabin upstate. Started a serious relationship with Jennifer, she's good people, keeps me grounded, doesn't ask about my family much. My cousin keeps me loosely updated. Troy's still working dead-end jobs, still behind on child support, still blaming everyone but himself. I don't think about them often anymore, but when I do, I remember that moment. Standing in my doorway, watching them beg, and choosing myself, not out of revenge, not out of spite, just out of the simple understanding that some bridges burn for a reason. And sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is walk away from the ashes. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.